Sorry, 1 second.
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Daniel, what's going on?
Hey, it's good. Hey, I have a question. If you could help me out for a minute. I'm working on a presentation for operability. And I wonder, yeah. Could you help me out for a minute?
Yeah, all right.
Cool. Ah, cheers. Hey, man. Thanks. It's good water. So yeah, I signed up for operability to do a talk. I thought about doing a technical talk about all the work we did, Cloud Foundry, platform as a service. Then I thought probably other people are going to be talking about that, microservices, containers. I thought maybe we can do a non-technical talk.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I thought so. So I thought about GrownOps, like the thing that we've been speaking about a lot lately, how we changed our team and how we work better together as a team and with other teams. So I have it pretty much, I wouldn't say done, but the visuals are done and some of the concepts are on paper. I wanted to run it by you and see kind of by talking over it.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, cool. So, and let's see how this works. So, GrownOps, to start off with, I thought it would be good to kind of let you see what I've put together in the bullet points.
Yeah, maybe you want to explain it. No one's going to know what GrownOps is at all.
No. But then the idea is to put that at the end of the presentation. So, just for your knowledge, I think you don't have a mic.
Yep.
Just to listen. It's pretty weird. We're in the office and wearing mics, but does it work?
How about that?
Yay. Oh. So, yeah, relax. It's fine. There's no one here. So 6 points, working together, over-delivering fast. Grow up and get to know each other. Contribute instead of criticize. You're always in the state of partial knowledge. Ask for information, don't state judgment. And systems are built on trust.
Okay, well, hopefully that'll make sense.
In the end, like I said, I will put it up and then people will go like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
You might have to explain that when it comes to the talk.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I've cut the talk into 3 sections. Operability of a team, operability of DevOps, actually our interaction with other teams, and the operability of the community. Let's just start. It's a lot to cover, I realize, but I want to focus on on our own experiences. So operability of a team, looking at our own team. I want to start off with how bad it can get. And just thinking about our own experiences with how bad it was, maybe at times. And
yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah, was it pretty? Okay, a little bit bad, maybe. Paralyzed by process is the first thing I wanted to touch on. I think you remember where we tried to stipulate everything down to a point where we got completely locked in our own process, couldn't move, felt like a prison.
Yeah, I think it was when we were just trying to write down every last detail of how we wanted to work and kind of stipulate. And every time we wanted to make a decision, it was brought back to these checks and balances and trying to, what do you think Agile really is then? And you couldn't just decide something.
So maybe it's a good idea if we're on the stage, we can do a little act. So we just act like we're in a circular discussion to drive the point home where we get locked in our own process. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have an example maybe?
Well, for me, the most annoying bit was when I wanted to try and change stand-up. And I said to you,
let's practice.
Hey, okay. Daniel, can we get rid of stand-up? I just want to see the impact.
Well, the problem with that is that if you get rid of stand-ups, no one will know what the other people are doing anymore, and that sounds pretty bad. So nah.
No, but that's my point. Is that I think the knowledge sharing will be much better if you just seek out the information you need instead of being victim to this really boring stand-up in the morning.
Yeah, no. I think the problem with that is that seeking out the information throughout the day sounds pretty disruptive. So. You're in your flow and you get interrupted. Hey, what you doing? Can I help you? Stand-up is pretty cool for that.
But that's the price. If you want more knowledge sharing, you need disruptions. I mean, pick one.
And knowledge sharing. I mean, which knowledge are we sharing? I mean, we have so many things to share. You can't know it all, right? I just want to do my thing.
Well, maybe at this point I can derail it, just... well, I was reading this blog post about operations in a distributed team, and it's much better to have a broad knowledge of all the systems than deep knowledge of one system. So that's the knowledge you want.
Yeah, I guess, but the problem with that is that our technology that we use is pretty complex, and it takes a lot of time to learn these systems inside out, so I think you need experts and not generalists.
Well, if our systems are that complicated, maybe we could spike out a simpler thing. It can't be that it's too complicated.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think we already have one spike in process, and clearly in our process we stay like one spike at a time, so I think that's it's not possible.
Well, can we maybe discuss this at stand-up?
You wanted to get rid of stand-up, so now I'm really confused. Yeah, I think it's a good example, yeah. I think we can use that. By the way, did you see it's nice, right? Animation. Pretty cool.
If you put a lot of time into the wrong thing, maybe.
So, the next topic I wanted to talk about is and how bad it can get is tribalism. So, especially in a distributed team like ours, it's pretty easy to fall into the trap of forming little subgroups within the bigger group, be it maybe based on technology preferences or even just talking behind each other's backs. It's pretty nasty.
It's not even intentional sometimes, but if you're in a different country and you're annoyed, you just push back your seat, go home, have a cup of tea, and you never face the problems that you have.
Yeah. So pretty poisonous. Cool. So what did we do to kind of overcome these things or make it at least a little bit better? So some operating on the team, a little bit of surgery. I wanted to look at a couple of things that we did to improve these things. So one of the things is experiments. In kind of looking back in the discussion that we just had around changing the stand-up, and it turns out into this really big circular discussion, and in the end you don't do anything. Experiments was kind of the answer to that, right?
Experiments are cool. I guess everyone experiments, so it's quite subtle. Maybe we should explain a bit more. So it's just about gamifying the process itself, right? So there's a light structure where you could suggest a change, such as no more stand-ups.
Yeah.
And there's no discussion to be had. You put a time limit on it, say 2 weeks, you try it out, and then with the benefit of hindsight, you just decide whether or not you want to continue doing that or not. Yeah. And there's no room for the circular discussion.
Yeah.
But it was cool, right? Because even though it sounds like a really simple thing, it puts the onus on the people in the team to own the process and change it how they want to and how they see fit. And you're not trapped anymore, and it becomes yours.
I really got rid of the sideline commenting as well, like people just sitting on the side and saying, that thing doesn't work. And now you can say, well, then propose an experiment and we can see if we can do something about it. So that's, I think that's pretty cool. Maybe we can kind of share with people how we did that. Like we wrote it all down, but yeah, it doesn't really work on slides, I think.
No.
Nah, forget it. Okay, and then the second part in what we did is failing slow and painfully. It sounds a bit negative, but I mean it in a good way. Like, so in software development or engineering, everyone's talking about failing fast. Fast feedback, fail early. With people, it doesn't really work like that, I think. You can't just go in a new team, be an asshole for a couple of times, and then everything is great. Fail early. I mean, so yeah, you have to take time and get to know each other before you can go into the next kind of step, and kind of can compare this with experiments, I think.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. So just with people, maybe we should explain first. So we're doing regular feedback with each other.
Yeah.
And we had this really difficult, intense first session in Holland. Yeah. Where we're saying, opening up and saying when we've annoyed each other, and what annoys me about you is, in a nicer way. But I think the analogy is that like when we wanted to change the process, we would start off with a circular discussion, and you didn't really know what you're talking about until you try it out. And it's the same with people. You make all these stories in your head about how you think someone thinks about you, and they can be so elaborate. They can go on for months and years, and you never actually know what someone thinks. So instead, you just say to someone, when you did this, it made me feel like this, and you clear the air. And so long as you do it regularly, because Felix was saying, we might want to talk about this, like if you do the feedback regularly enough. Yeah. So if you give, because we're giving feedback to each other every few months, you feel way more comfortable in the team that you're not stepping on someone else.
Yeah.
Because you know that they'll tell you within a few months' time, kind of, please change this.
So it allows you much more to be yourself with a little bit more confidence. And at some point, I think you can't avoid being annoying. Everyone is annoying from time to time, and that's okay. And then other people can call you out on it, and you can kind of learn from that. I mean, if there's anyone, maybe we can challenge the audience or something. Say is there anyone in the room who thinks they never annoyed anyone? That person is really annoying. You know what I mean? But anyway.
But you should also thank that person. So when we do give feedback, you should say thank you for that, because they've had to live with that for however long. They've had to be angry at you for months and have the courage to tell you. Yeah. So thank you very much. Say Daniel, I have been meaning to tell you actually. Do you mind if I give you some feedback?
Right now? Yeah, sure, I guess.
I felt that when you asked me to do this talk and you called me in, I couldn't say no, because I knew that if I said no, you wouldn't do the talk, and I didn't want to deprive you of that opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, I guess. Anyway, it's too late now. Your name is already in the talk, so let's go. So how good can it get, Tom? After all this kind of investment and these adventures, I think the key thing is, maybe some other people will refer to this as well during the conference, trust. They might not, but I think it will become this theme. So trust, no more tiptoeing around each other, because you have this regular feedback, and you know each other, you invest the time in each other, you know where people come from, so you feel way more comfortable than telling each other the truth instead of kind of.
I guess it's bigger than that though. When you feel that your teammates trust one another, that your work and your decisions aren't being judged, that you don't have to justify every decision you're trying to make, and that when someone in the team should involve others, you trust that they will involve others instead of becoming some sort of paranoid, whatever that is.
It's a good move. You should do that probably on the. I think knowing where people come from really increases the empathy. Again, with the annoying part. If you're annoying, I'm far more likely to forgive you for being annoying because I know you. Just like what you just put me on the spot like that on stage, it kind of, I forgive you. So then the second part of the talk is more about the operability of DevOps.
I've got nothing new to say about this.
Well, neither have I, but I think we can just maybe focus a little bit on the things that we've experienced with working with the teams within our company. So mostly development teams, but there's other teams as well. So again, to keep a little bit of structure to the talk, how bad can it get? With our relationships with the developers. And one of the key things for me is the support channel, Ask PE, the Slack support channel. People will probably know what Slack is, so we don't have to explain that. So
pretty bad. It can get pretty bad. I mean, it's good now, but 2 years ago, you can remember people just coming in and just flinging this is broken, ... nothing.
503. Is that a question or connection timed out? Really interesting. And then smiley face to make it look nice or something oh, now you're really friendly. I'm gonna help you. Or you're kind of having this discussion with conversation with a developer about a technical issue in the platform, and someone randomly comes in, has no knowledge of what we did in the platform, and just comes up with these like best practices. Yeah, or you're doing it all wrong. I read on a wiki page that you should set it up like this, and yeah, clearly your logging platform is completely broken. I'm like, oh, nice.
Thanks for your help.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just giving random orders. Basically, that was kind of the worst. Yeah. So, more interestingly, like, what did we do to improve it? We did some operating on culture, I think. And the one thing, and basically the whole theme is, for me, is kill it with kindness, what we did. So instead of being agitated, what we used to do, like we changed our behavior instead of trying to change other people. And how bad people get with us, we stayed kind and we provided them with the information, we thanked them for the input.
So yeah, even if someone comes in and says, oh, your docs are all wrong, I'd rather there were no docs, what do you people even do with your time? You just say, thank you very much. Really great, thank you for taking the time to discover those problems for us. Let me get back to you.
The greatest thing is this made them look even like more stupid, because other people were like, it's actually quite rude what this person is doing. And look how nice the other guys are. I mean, you can't do this to these poor people. And we just kept doing this, writing blog posts. And even when people started complaining, I don't know what's going on, we created more, like we started the internal status pages, and we started internally tweeting like what we were up to, everything open. And I think that kind of changed it, because now people know what we like to see. And
no, there's still the occasional thing, but
Yeah, so the next thing is then, how good can it get? So looking at now it's pretty good, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Ask PE, like the channel, it's more like to me now it's more like a knowledge kind of sharing pool.
I mean, half the time we don't even answer the questions. It's other developers who pitch in, and also it's just that atmosphere itself of knowledge sharing is protected. So when you do see someone step out of line, other people will rein them in. So there's like a local justice around the channel itself.
Yeah.
And just the teams in general.
Yeah, I think there's people. So it's still the channel name is still referring to our team, but it's much more become this shared thing where people feel responsible for what's going on in there, and people understand that the platform we run is complex. So you need a little bit of appreciation of all the hard work that's gone into it. It's really nice to have, and also the fact that we have now developers who want to join our team. That's pretty cool. You're actually one of them. I'm not sure if that's cool, but even with zero operations background, they come to us either for a few months or they join us permanently. It's just great. So yeah.
Ops is cool.
Yeah, it is, and people start to realize that now finally. So then. Finally, operability of the community. I think I understand that we cannot operate the community, or we are just part of a community. We're a really small part, really small.
Very small.
Yeah, no one knows us. But I just wanted to highlight a few things about like how we experience or live and act in this community. Again, like looking at how bad it can get. Like, what's the worst for you? Like, what's the community at its worst for you?
It's a good community.
There must be some bad things, though.
There's some bad things. I guess, it's a very fiercely intellectual field. Very clever people. They can be quite scary. And also we work with such complicated systems, and they're always broken. They're always in a state of partial failure.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to find the flaws and the holes in the software. And there's a kind of self-righteousness about it as well. Like, I've done it before. I've used an airline website and then tweeted them about some kind of like div that was broken or something. Like, yes.
Yeah.
But no, what?
It's like, for me as well, like, for example, I think last week Apple released a new iPhone, or the week before, I don't know. And like you start reading, and 90% of the stuff is negative, like how how on earth do they decide to remove the mini jack from the iPhone? Who decided that? And people are just angry all the time. Like, it's a great thing, right? All this kind of, I don't get it. And a part of it, maybe it's a bit envy or something, but I might be wrong, but I think it's a lot of not invented here syndrome. Like, you create something cool, and instead of supporting your open source project, I'm going to start another open source project so that I can be cooler than you. And or you don't have enough Twitter followers, I don't think you're interesting. That kind of stuff, yeah. So, operating on community, I don't think that, again, that we can change anything, but it's more like how can we behave within this community to make it a better place, if you know what I mean. So, and I think it's all around appreciation. Again, like one second. We talk about how people complain a lot instead of appreciate things. I do that myself as well. Like, we are in Hangouts a lot, Google Hangouts, and 9 out of 10 times I'm bashing Hangouts. Like, Hangouts suck, and my computer's freezing, and instead of just actually, like, these guys, I don't know what kind of technology this is, but they were really like happy, like, whoa, look at this thing. I'm on the phone and I can see you. It's amazing. We forget that. It's really amazing. Like, all this technology. I'm working with you from the Netherlands. I'm talking to you, and it's free. Like, I'm not paying for Google Hangouts. So a little bit of appreciation would be nice.
Life's just got too good. Like, your expectations are so high. Yeah, it reminds me of the Louis C.K. Little joke he makes about, the person with their iPhone on the train. Like, it takes 1 second to upload my picture. Oh my God! It's like, you don't get to complain about this thing you don't understand. Like, it will blow your mind if you understood it. You don't get to be annoyed by 1 second of inconvenience.
Yeah. So again, like a little bit more appreciation for all the hard work that people put into. Especially with open source, right? I mean, it's free. Contribute to that shit instead of complain about it. So if you got something bad to say about, I don't know, Docker or just to name something, then contribute or. So how good can it get in the community?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, I think it's shifting your mindset. It's an amazing community. I don't want to bash it.
No.
It's awesome. Open source stuff, for me, I'm new to it, and it's kind of like walking into a shop and just pulling something off the shelf and just walking out for free, Like, this free stuff that people have spent hundreds of hours building.
Yeah, it's great.
There's meetups.
Conferences.
Like operability. I came to operability last year.
Yeah, that was great, right?
I just joined the team, and I was, it's a big reason why I stayed in this field, because it was just an awesome conference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with operability last year, I kind of got the feeling like, okay, this is a community I can be comfortable in actually doing a talk. I don't think they're going to burn me down or anything if it's a bit like not what they hoped it would be. And I think people are nice, and it's changing. And we can be really proud of that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're a really connected community of people that just share knowledge. It's amazing. It takes years and years and years to become an expert. Yeah. And people just write a blog post for free online about, this is the best way of doing this.
Yeah, actually, most of the stuff that we do in our company with Cloud Foundry and all that stuff is that we use what other people have put hours and hours of time in.
Thousands of people put their effort into it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's easy to forget.
Yeah, pretty good, right? So then, in the end, we have the concluding slide, GrownOps, and hopefully it makes a bit more sense then for people. What do you think? I think it's quite good so far, right, the talk? I mean, sure, it needs a little bit more work.
Could do some work, I think. This slide, for starters, I mean, you don't want slide reading.
No, yeah, that's true.
People will get bored, lose
I need
attention.
to think of a different way of presenting this, probably, you're right. Do you have any other kind of feedback on the talk? What you can maybe change?
So between the sections, there could be summary slides.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Could be some jokes, maybe.
Yeah, it would be nice to be, although it's hard to be funny when you have to be funny. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
You've done, I don't mean to be rude, but you and ah quite a lot. Focus on that.
Yeah, so do you actually. So, yeah, we're not experienced speakers. People will probably forgive us for that. So, anything else?
Like there's no facts or any data at all.
That's true. Okay, yeah. Probably won't be in the final talk either because I have no facts or no data. It's just experience, right?
Yeah.
You just have to trust me on this.
Oh, you shouldn't defend yourself.
No, true.
Take my feedback on board. I don't want to sit down on stage. I think it's we can't pull that off.
No. That's only for the big shots, right? They sit down, have these fireside chats. No, we shouldn't do that. You're right.
We also haven't mentioned our company once.
No, probably won't. No, people won't know us, right? And so do you think we have to have some sort of introduction where we say we're from Springer Nature, global publisher?
I think our boss might be annoyed if we don't.
Yeah, but also it's quite boring if we do. People are not really interested in us. I mean, no.
Leave it out. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, is there any other stuff?
When's the talk?
30 minutes ago. Yeah. So, hello. If you have any questions.